It was supposed to be one of those unforgettable, bittersweet milestones, the last day of 8th grade. A hallway full of laughter, yearbooks being passed around, and everyone scribbling inside covers like we'd never see each other again. Buried between goofy signatures and inside jokes was a message that would follow me for years. Hags, I'll be seeing you again. Signed by a name I didn't recognize, Samuel Robinson III. My middle school was massive. Over 1,000 students and teachers had collected our yearbooks to circulate them classroom to classroom, which meant anyone could write anything if they wanted to. I assumed it was just some random kid being weird, maybe even a mistake. And by that night I had almost forgotten about it while hosting a sleepover with my friends in my basement, 3 floors below my parents' room, where we stayed up eating junk food and playing video games until a sharp, rhythmic knock hit the storm door just before 2 a.m. The sound cut through the laughter instantly. No one knocks on a basement storm door unless they know someone is down there. When my friend shouted, "Who is it?" a cheerful teenage voice responded, "Come around to the back door," like he was just another friend trying to join the fun. My chest was pounding as we crept upstairs, and when I peered through the narrow glass pane beside the back door, my stomach dropped. It was him, the same kid from the yearbook photo, the same name burned into my memory. Before I could process it, he motioned for me to come closer, smiling like we shared some inside secret. I refused to open the door and instead cracked a nearby window just enough to speak. He introduced himself as Sam and casually said he always watched me from afar, that we could have been good friends. When I asked how he knew where I lived, he ignored the question. The mood shifted fast when one of my friends called him a creep. His expression changed. Instantly his smile vanished, his head tilted unnaturally, and then rage exploded out of him. He screamed that he hated my friends, that we should all die, that he knew things about me he had no right knowing, and then he lunged at the window trying to force it open while snarling and pounding against the glass like something feral. I slammed it shut seconds before it shattered. My parents came rushing downstairs, and he bolted into the darkness. The next morning we learned he had been expelled weeks earlier and shouldn't have even been at school on the last day, meaning he'd somehow snuck in just to leave that message. No one could track him down afterward. It was as if he vanished entirely, and to this day I don't know how he found my house, which is the part that still unsettles me the most. Years later I thought those kinds of encounters were behind me, but on the final night of senior year in May 2019, after celebrating with friends near the campus clock tower, my hot-headed friend Garrett provoked a homeless man who had been yelling in the street. What started as stupid drunken bravado turned serious when we realized the man was following us, and though we tried not to lead him home, Garrett charged at him again, sending him running at least temporarily. Hours later, while stepping outside to grab food, I noticed a side gate to our backyard had been untied and left open, something that didn't happen by accident. Instead of alerting my friends, I went to check, and before I even saw anyone, I felt a rope snap tight around my throat from behind. I couldn't breathe. I clawed at the frayed strands digging into my skin as he pulled harder, genuinely convinced I was seconds from dying, until I threw my weight backward and we crashed to the ground. He clawed at my face before fleeing into the night, leaving me bleeding, hospitalized, and permanently marked in my graduation photos. And even before all of that, back in 7th grade, there had been another unsettling presence, a quiet, isolated boy named Sven who always stood alone near the fence by the woods and acted stranger than usual on the last day of school, tapping his foot aggressively and scanning the room while unfamiliar students filled our class. I remember teachers whispering at the door, quietly escorting certain students out, and then the fire alarm clearing the building before police cars flooded the campus. Rumors later spread that outsiders had been let in with plans to set the school on fire, and that Sven had led them through the side fence during recess. He disappeared after that day and was never seen again. Looking back, what scares me most isn't just the violence or the chaos, it's how normal everything felt right before it wasn't. How ordinary school traditions masked moments that could have ended far worse, and how sometimes the people standing quietly in the background are the ones you should never ignore.